Hello and welcome to the Umineko Bookclub podcast. I am your host, Lorenzo.
Okay. I'm Des. Hello, sorry. I was distracted. Please don't kick me out.
Sorry, I didn't lead you guys in, but yeah.
That's
Des.
funny. Well, hello, this is your friendly neighborhood mushroom. Wow,
Woo!
It's just the three of us this time. It's like old times.
I know. Wow, the OG. It's like a reunion, and also it's been a while since the last time we recorded.
It's been very long, yes.
I actually have
Yes.
zero memory of the when was the last time we even recorded an episode.
The last time we recorded, I think I was just getting into my final internship, and I have since graduated. Like,
Are you serious?
Oh, congratulations! Wow, Jesus, that's a time skip. Wow.
it really is.
I genuinely speaking don't remember when was the last time we recorded, but I also graduated, so you know.
Congrats! Wow, double time skip. What the fuck? All right. Well, I don't have anything to show for you guys. I just kind of sat on my ass until today. So
That's fine. I mean,
yeah. Well, congrats, y'all. Like, what's next for you guys?
I'm just sitting waiting for the goddamn, because I cannot work until they give me my certification. So I'm just sitting here. My employers are sitting there. We basically have already the contract ready. I just need to sign it and they'll let me work. But I cannot work because I don't have the goddamn certificate, because it's just taking so long to come. I hope they don't replace me with someone else. I hope they don't get tired of waiting, because I really want to take that job. You know, it's a good offer they're giving me.
I mean, how long have you been like waiting?
Like, it's at this point has been like 3 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Give me a second.
Go for it. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Take your time.
Hello.
Hold there.
Yes.
Hello. Yeah, we
Yeah.
can hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you good?
I think something funky went on with her, whatever she was recording with. So, we'll wait.
Oh no.
We can have a mini side conversation in the meantime.
Yeah, we can.
Well, first of all, congrats on graduating and passing everything.
Many thanks,
Like,
many thanks.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, go for it.
I was gonna say, one of the things we do in academic traditions in Portugal is we wear a cape, and some people, if they want to, they can wear emblems on their cape. And one of the emblems I wore on my cape was a "When We Cry" emblem.
Aw.
Yeah.
Wow. A little bit of us with you guys.
Because we're supposed to wear emblems that like meant something during your academic process. So since the podcast basically accompanied me for the better part of my university years, it made sense.
Mm-hmm. How long? You did like distance learning and stuff like that too, right?
Oh yeah, during COVID. Yeah. Oh, that's actually funny, because you know how, like, you don't know how, obviously, but
Yeah.
one of the emblems people wear is like with the year they got into university. So like for me it would be 2019/2020, and I found this really funny emblem that was like 2019/Zoom. So
Zoom. Yeah.
that's what I wore. It's funny. It was funny.
Nice. That's actually like clever. Was it like was it the Zoom written like it was like a 200M or something like that? So it looked like.
Oh no, it's really just 2019/Zoom, and it was all written in Zoom font. So
Oh, okay, yeah.
the letters were blue, the border was blue, and then the background was white.
I mean, yeah, like everybody was on it. That's crazy. Then you can look back on the pictures and you can tell everyone like, yeah, we just kind of like stayed home. We didn't go anywhere.
Yeah. Oh, I was reading my pandemic diary. Like, I've been reading it for the past couple of days, and there's some funny notes there. There's a note about my first attempt at creating a When They Cry channel. It was before this one, because it actually was that failed attempt that led to the podcast. Because I recorded like 4 different videos. It was meant to be like 20-minute videos about certain topics relating to Umi Neko, basically, and Higurashi. And then I recorded the episodes, and I was sitting there editing them, and I'm like, God damn, I did not realize my pronunciation was this bad. I can barely understand what I'm saying, and I know what I'm saying. So that's one thing the podcast really helped me with. And I'm glad my pronunciation was so bad at the time, because my understanding of Umi Neko at the time was very bare bones compared to what it is now. So
was it just you? Or?
Yeah, it was just
Oh,
me.
okay, cool. Well, yeah, it helps with like other people too. So
Yeah.
wow, look how far you've come.
even today when I try to record something on my own, it's just not good. So then I had
You
the
think
idea
so?
to make a podcast because then it wouldn't be only myself and it wouldn't be shit.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of hard to keep up a conversation by yourself.
Yeah.
Not like a streamer or anything.
Yeah, clearly we don't have streamer skills. But yeah, all of this is to say, sometimes bad thing happens, so better things can happen in the future. And I'm glad that thing failed, so I could have the podcast now, meet all of you. My English also bettered a lot because of this.
Wow, I'm also happy that I am able to meet you while we.
Yee.
Sorry, I had to walk away for like 2 seconds, but
Welcome back.
I mean, do you guys also feel that your understanding of Umi Neko bettered a lot with the podcast? Because I feel like mine did, like weeks. It's weeks better than it was at the beginning.
yeah, I would say so. I think for the longest time of my existence of reading Umineko, I feel very lonely of it, basically. Like, I didn't know that there was a lot of Umineko fans out there, and I didn't know that people, like, you know, had a lot of opinions and, like, wanted to have something to say about it, and that to be able to, like, join a podcast, like, and subsequently kind of just ran into the Umineko renaissance of like the fact that like it's a resurgent and everybody's getting back into the fandom, and like how like everybody's like super fucking into it is kind of fascinating and fun in that kind of way that like I didn't expect it to be able to like, you know, meet any of the people who I later on like going on to like do art and like have very fun discussions. I don't know, it's very like it's fascinatingly nice that I didn't expect is my point. Like I didn't think that like, you know, there was that many Umineko fans out there is actually my point. Like I guess like I wouldn't even say like my understanding has improved. Like I think a lot more things has improved, but like, you know, besides my like understanding.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we were kind of locked inside for like 2 years, so like, what else were you gonna do?
Yeah, you brought up a good point, Mushroom. We did start this kind of like during the renaissance of When They Cry, because you got EP9, you got Ciconia, you got Go, so that really helped the fandom expand, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like really nice timing. So I'm glad that it all happened. Glad I met you guys.
Oh, heart emoji.
It's been cool. Yeah, I was actually, one of my other IRL friends was getting curious about Umineko, and like they started sending me like memes and stuff like that, and I'm just like, it's about to happen. It's gonna go crazy. Like she's gonna read all of it, and like it'll go hard because I'll have yet another person who knows about the story under my belt because I keep shilling it all the time. And sorry, I got distracted, but yeah. Okay, like long story short, it's my boyfriend's friend, and I think he's in the room right now. He's just like over my shoulder, and I think he's texting her right now
Oh damn.
and telling her that I'm doing this.
Getting caught red-handed. That's so embarrassing.
It is. Ugh. I told him not to come, but now he's here.
Okay. Ugh. So what about you guys? What have you been doing? Anything you want to share? Funny things that have happened?
Yeah. I just got back from Chicago and for Lollapalooza.
Oh my god, I have a friend who was also at Lollapalooza.
For New Jeans.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I went, and it was amazing and awesome, except for the rest of the day.
Wait, what's this?
Like, have you?
Is this an anime convention?
No, it's a music
festival.
festival. There's a K-pop group called New Jeans, and they have straight up bangers. Actually, one of the more recent songs, they filmed the music video in Portugal.
Whoa!
And,
wait, what?
Yeah, in Lisbon. Hold on.
This
let me send you the.
This was like, how would I not
There
know?
ain't no way.
Yeah, wait, hold on. Because
I wish I was a K-pop fan so I could savor this.
you can be a K-pop fan right now. Hold on, let me find the
I'm
music
late
video.
now.
Let me send it to you. Because like the song's a banger.
This is like if the Korean K-pop group like acknowledges my existence, then maybe that's all it takes for me to become a K-pop fan now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know the inside of the buzzes. This is definitely Portugal.
Yeah.
Wait, I need to look at it. Wait, is that what the
Just
inside
from
of
the
bus-
thumbnail, I am sure this is Portugal.
Yeah. So I think like the writer of the song, she's like Portuguese or something like that, and I guess that
Ooh.
kind of, you know, helped inspire where they should have filmed it. It's a really nice music video. It's very fun to watch. But yeah, I traveled halfway across the country to watch this K-pop group. They're all like kids, which is kind of weird. Like
They're all kids.
the youngest one's like 15.
How's the kid?
Like 15 years to 19 years old.
Yeah.
So,
it's like AKB situation. I was a huge fan of AKB.
Yeah. So like it's normal, except that when they debuted last year, you know, the youngest one was 14, and one of their debut songs was called Cookie.
Oh,
and
God.
It's exactly what it goes exactly as you like could imagine it could be, you know, with a bunch of teenage kids.
Oh, okay. This goes around to my thesis about weird pedophiles on the internet.
Yeah, like there's something wrong with the creative director, but I guess she's like trying to stir controversy to make them more popular, even though they could be like popular on their own. But long story short, we went to Chicago to go see them. They did their first performance in the US, and then we had a really nice time in Chicago like the rest of the time. So if you are ever thinking of places to travel to and visit, like Chicago's pretty nice.
Chicago is still I think 12 hours away from me. More than that, I don't know.
12? Like a drive?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, because like flying, it's probably easier, but also it's flying, and that's expensive. And
I mean, I could drive there from me. Like my friends who drove to the Near concert that I actually bought tickets to, that I wasn't able to go a few years ago when they went to the Chicago, and I was like, I felt so bad. I like really wanted to go, but I had like conflict.
Dang. Aren't they like? Isn't the Near concert thing like happening again soon, or is that?
Yes, the Near concert is happening again soon. I don't know where they're going on tour. That's it's like a tour situation.
Okay.
Where they like stop at cities.
Speaking of like was it orchestra and video game stuff? There's so I like went to this convention recently. It's like basically the West Coast version of MagFest called MagWest.
Yeah.
And there was a video game orchestra that my friends are in. I think it's called like the Online Video Game Orchestra or something like that.
Oh yeah, Online Video Orchestra. My friend's also in there.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. Do you have people in there?
I do have people in it. So our first president, or not, I think our first and second president of the orchestra is in there because I get like sent their stuff all the time because they live in Washington now, or Washington, or I think like San Francisco. So I actually know a lot of people. I mean, I also know a lot of people from UMD and the one they do at MagFest every year. It's really funny because my friend who just graduated with me literally just got a text messages from people when we're like, hey, would you like to be the first choir section lead for the video game orchestra? And then she was like, no, I don't actually. She's like,
I hate music.
Well, no, it's just more like the type of thing where she's like, it already takes us like 9 hours to go to like MagFest. And like while it's a lot of fun, she doesn't want to be there and babysit a bunch of people with music. If that makes any sense, like it's
you don't want to go there to work, right?
Yeah, basically, so. Like I know people. Lots of people I know, people who my friends are like, they bring their whole ass instrument to MagFest and they go like perform.
Yeah,
like
it's crazy.
They go to like basically they do like 3 rehearsals and then they perform like the on the third day. It's like that's literally it, and like it still takes time. It takes like 2 hours. Like every rehearsal is like around like. I think they do like a total of 4-hour rehearsal on 2 days.
Yeah,
it's like, you know, that's a chunk of your time that you're taking out of your valuable like con experience. I don't know. I guess
but you get to go for free. So
yeah, and you're doing it for free. Like I guess if that's what you want to be doing, like that's one thing. But I don't know. I don't care. I'm just like, that's it.
Yeah, my friends were in it too, and it sounded like a lot of work. But you know, I thought of you. I was like, wait, they have people from all over the country just like being in this. I was like. You know, maybe you're associated with it in some capacity.
Yeah, I know people. And also, funny story. Oh, Lorenzo, did I end up telling you that I was able to perform the EP 6-piece that was the Birth of a New Witch and for the concert?
Oh, you haven't?
Yeah.
How'd it go?
It went well.
Do you have a video of it somewhere?
Yeah, I do have a video of it. I can share with you later,
sweet.
But
okay, for sure.
But anyway, I feel like we have been going on a little bit more tangents. Should we start the episode yet, or is anybody else wants to share what their life?
Well,
should we?
Des, how was your new jeans conversion therapy? Are you like crazy about them now?
I have a slight inclination to believe that this whole thing has been a publicity stunt for the bus company, because nobody likes public transportation in Portugal. So
Really? Okay. Well, they're trying to brainwash the entire world.
yeah, I
like-
think that's what's going on.
Are
Yeah.
you serious?
Because like, do you used to have also like many different brands of public transportation depending on the city, but then this like some Spanish company bought like all of these different companies and made it into a single one, and it's worse than it was before. So
That's interesting. This is
nobody likes Carris Metropolitana, and that's the brand of the buses that they're in.
Damn.
so there's more propaganda behind this K-pop group than I thought, because some of their music is just straight up brainwashing sounds.
Oh, damn.
Like
Oh no.
they were like they had a song that was for a Coca-Cola commercial, Coke Zero.
Oh my god.
And like the song, it sounds like you know, they're trying to brainwash you. They're like, oh, Coca-Cola is so good, you know, like over and over again. That's it. That's like the whole song. And
You like Coca-Cola, you like Coca-Cola, you like Coca-Cola.
yeah, so they only have like 12 songs, and like if you look at the festival footage,
Half of the songs are just brainwashing.
yeah, kind of, yeah.
You look at their Spotify playlist and it's like, you like Coca-Cola, you like Pepsi, you like Fanta.
Yeah,
you
it
like...
is. It's so crazy.
Just choose your flavor.
I mean, like their songs are good, but you know, it's not
This is what
probably
I-
not good for your brain.
I feel like that's what I mean by like how do I say this? Like, you know how like Ryukishi writes about Ciconia and he's like, yes, everybody's engineered, but like they're really just doing that technology in Korea. Like everything is so artificial, and I'm not joking. Like I'm just like, this is like prime just like brainwashing material. It's kind of horrifying.
Yeah, my favorite
Yeah.
K-pop song is the one that goes like, Nestle is not stealing water from tribal villages. That's my favorite.
Huh? Oh,
Oh my god.
yeah, man. Wow, how'd you get your hands on the unreleased New Jeans song? Like,
I wrote it. They're gonna record another clip here
oh,
because I wrote
damn,
it.
wow, they just love Portugal, huh?
I guess so.
Well, how about you guys? What's going on in your lives?
Nothing. I've been reading Higurashi, which has been greatly rotting my brain and has made me became. We're gonna do an episode on this eventually, but it made me have been having incredibly intense thoughts about weird online pedophiles and Japanese.
You can just
culture.
say that. You can just say that.
Wait, I can't just say that, or I can just say that.
What do you think I said, Mushroom? What do you think I said?
The point is that my brain has been rotting, and it's and not that I'm going to be white knighting for pedophiles on the internet, but God is a strange creature, and truly speaking, every single person has ever written a story probably wrote some really sus shit. And while I was talking to my friend about this, my friend was like, yeah, and Stephen King and It, and I was like, what the fuck? Why did you say that?
Oh,
now
yeah.
I have to think about that now. And so that's my just for everybody, I imagine all of our listeners are incredibly understanding people and understand that I am not trying to white knight pedophiles, but truly speaking, there's a lot of them. I don't know what to say, and lots of very good literature are written by weirdos who have weird thoughts about things, and I'm confused. That's my cool take. I hope that made any amount of sense.
So Umi Neko, right? Before Mushroom says
She's right here, officer.
Umi Neko, right?
Okay, so Umineko. Okay, let's talk about Umineko. Lorenzo,
Oh,
take
yeah.
it away.
Okay. All right. Well, on to what we're actually here for. No, I'm here for you guys. Anyways, so when we last left off, Battler actually fucking dies. Like, he gets his ass handed to him. He can't really, like, you know, prove his aunt's innocence, and he gets murked by...
He gets kebabbed. He gets totally kebabbed.
Yeah, he's the first to fall asleep at the slumber party, and he gets stabbed by a giant red truth stake, like, impaled, you know, through the mouth, out the anus, the whole 9 yards.
I feel
He
like
kind of, like, survives for a little bit, but, you know... Oh, speaking of which, side note, we went to the medieval torture museum in Chicago, and that shit was crazy. Like, they had professionally done like mannequins and like authentic-ish looking torture devices. So like, I can like send a few pictures, but like, it looks pretty gruesome, right? And then we're in there, and then through the like they like it's like a giant room that they section off with like cloth like walls or whatever, and somebody like brought their child, like a toddler, so I heard this like kids screaming and crying, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing this for? Like they're straight up like mannequins with their necks sliced open and bleeding all over the place in here. But anyways,
wait.
Oh, and
that if you're gonna mention medieval torture machine, I need to mention that this is my cool fact for everybody, which is that Iron Maidens are actually considered to be a myth, and it was and it's like they're like, oh, like, you know, like the Middle Ages people used them, but it was actually the first stories of Iron Maidens are actually concocted in the 19th century, and I wanted to share it with that for the class.
yeah, they had one there too. They said the same thing. Like, you know, it wasn't actually like a torture device that was used, but it was like a silly, funny little thing, you know?
Yeah, the silly, funny little thing, Iron Maidens.
I digress. There was like a actually here, like I'll send a couple. It has some gore in it.
I'm fairly sure, doesn't Higurashi have an Iron Maiden in it?
Mushroom, this is the Umi Neko Bookclub.
Okay. Well.
Oh my god, that looks sick!
Oh my fucking god!
Yo, what Twilight
Yeah.
was this?
Yeah, I know, right?
Wait. Is that a wax figure? Is that supposed
It's
to...
like a rubber mannequin. And
Jesus
like,
Christ,
you know, like
if
the
I was a
musculature's,
child,
like-
I would fucking be, like... I would not be happy. I mean, even as an adult person, I'm like, that's... Like, this reminds me of the time when my sister used to, like, take me to the... Is it the Met? Oh, like it's the art museum in Massachusetts, and she would just leave me and like the pyramid and like the Egyptian wing, and I would just sit there and cry, and then she would be like, I came and find you, and I was like, dude, that was 20 minutes ago. Where did you leave me? I'm like 5.
Damn, that's
What the
crazy. Well, now you're emotionally attached to that museum, I guess.
It's a good museum. It's very pretty.
Yeah, that child is gonna like remember like that slit open neck of that mannequin for the rest of their lives. So, you know, it was really cool. Definitely recommend. It sounds like a tourist trap, but it was very well done. Anyways, that is because he got impaled through the mouth and anus. But so he's dead, and that's the end of the story. So we can stop talking about the book club now.
Congratulations, Umineko's over, guys. You can finally leave your little cages. Here, eat some lettuce.
Yeah, and as like part of the epilogue, back on the island, Erica just kind of fingers Natsuhi in front of the rest of the family and just says,
We
okay,
really
so this
need
is how
to,
you did it.
Find a better word than
Need
just...
to make a compilation of all the times Lorenzo uses this in thinking it's a good thing to say.
I mean, she's like, okay, well, there's like a lot of reasons why you did this. So you hated this family, and she's like, no, I didn't. But then she brings up like her past and how Natsuhi's from a noble family, I guess. She was like from a family of priests.
Yeah, no, Shinto
Yeah,
priests. Yeah.
Shinto
Yeah,
priest.
Shinto priests. And Kinzo had used their money to like gain leverage on them and basically, you know, steal their daughter and have her marry into his family. So she was like,
And it was a great shame to the family.
yeah, basically. So she's just like writing in her diaries about how much she hated the family and like how her marriage was like, you know, arranged and how loveless it was. And that's all her diaries are about. But then Natsu's trying to say like, oh no, like, you know, I like stopped writing down my negative emotions because I was having a good time like being in this family, you know, like it's not like that. But, you know, Erica's like by the books, and she says, you know,
I actually really like this.
your diaries say that you fucking hated your life. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I really like this section because as a person who used to write diaries, I wrote diaries between 6th grade all the way up to like my 11th grade. So I have like lots and lots of diaries from many years of my life. And I totally love the way how they put it, which is that like you like at a certain point you do just write about your negative emotions. And like one of the reasons why I had to stop writing diaries is because I felt like I was just like focusing, I like would just get lazy whenever, like when a day is going great, I don't need to write anything because like my day is going great, like but when my day is going poorly, then all I want to do is write about how bad my day is going. So like my diary just became like a collection of like the annoying and bad things that happen, which is one of the reasons I had to stop writing it. And I just love the way how this is done because it's so like realistically relatable of how she like
Yeah.
puts it, but like it's also just like incredibly devastating because also she doesn't have any proof of when she's happy, because when you're happy you don't think about writing in your diary.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah, that's really interesting, because when you think about the diary, you think what you're gonna find there is like the real person, the real facet of this person that they usually hide from everybody else. But then, because of what you just described, and it's exactly the same thing that happens to Natsuki, where actually the only thing you find there is the worst parts of that person, only the parts of a person that hates something, that dislikes something, only the bad parts about that person's life.
That's so true. That's actually really insightful because, you know, like negative emotions are actually like more impactful than like good emotions, you know? Like I feel like
Yeah, exactly. People could say like, 10 compliments to you and you don't remember, but if the person say one thing bad about you, you'll remember for the rest of your life, and that's just how it is. And like
to quote Ryuto from the Book Girls series, I prefer when girls hate me, because hatred is stronger than love.
that's kind of what they're saying.
I'm going to one day strap you to a chair and we're gonna do a book club. I mark my words. God, I love that
Vengeance
series
will be
so
mine.
much. But
She's gonna do that medieval torture to you and like open your back open.
But like it's also just very funny to me because the thing about that I really like that Yukishi has a very good understanding of is that like I think like this and just like the diary and just like any emotions in general is that like it's like when you say like, oh, when you're angry, like the thing that you say, like that's your truth, like you say like fuck you, I wish I never seen you before, they're like, that's what you wanted to say to me this whole time. It's like, no, that wasn't what they wanted to say to you the whole time. They're saying it because they're mad, not because that's like they're like hidden truth or something. And I feel like that's just like a very good explanation of like human emotions, and it's like a very good understanding of it. I just really like the scene, and I feel like when you're experiencing happiness, like you're living in the moment, and when you're experiencing sadness, you're living in the past.
Oh, that's a great way to put it. How poetic.
Misery loves company, though. Like, all gossip revolves around, bad emotions. And I think, like, I heard something. My friend was like, oh, yeah, 80% of conversation that ever happens between people is always complaining. So it's true in real life, Umi
Neko is just like real life, guys.
Kind of is. It's very, like, insightful. That's kind of crazy that you brought it up, because that was not what I was thinking when I was, like, reading that. So very good point. But moving on, so she basically gets exposed for having like a rap sheet against the family in her diaries, and she's like, well, this is the only evidence, you've definitely done it. And Natsui's like, no, I'm trying to protect the honor of the family. And then they help reminds me of like how this went, but basically the Erika side was trying to say that Kinzo is nowhere on the island, and if he was an accomplice. And she was like, or Natsu's like, wait, what are you talking about? Because they were like insinuating that he is alive, he's hiding inside Natsu's room because they were bonking each other.
Yeah, so the way it goes is, first, it's actually really fucking funny. Erika is an absolute genius for this, because she basically employs the strategy of the North Wind and the Sun, where, in case you need a little reminder, the North Wind tries really hard to push the cape off the Traveler, and he can't because the Traveler is gripping the cape real hard. So then the Sun comes in, and instead, it's just the warmth that makes the Traveler want by himself to take the cape off. And so what Erika does is, at first, she accuses Natsuki. It's a front-headed assault, and Natsuki is unrelenting. She will not admit to this crime that she obviously hasn't committed. So then, she instead accuses Kinzo. So now, by accusing Kinzo, she's making Natsuki want herself to be the one to have committed the crime. But then Erika doesn't stop there, because now that she's accusing Kinzo and she's successfully made Natsuki want to be accused again, she makes it so the only way for Natsuki to logically be the culprit is by denying Kinzo's existence. So now Natsuki is completely cornered. The only way for her for the suspicion to fall back on her, so that Kinzo's name remains safe and clean is for her to admit Kinzo is dead and basically expose the lie she's been keeping.
Which she's not gonna do.
5D chess move.
It's like the chess move where you corner them on each side. It's a checkmate. I don't know.
Checkmate to that!
Yep.
It's what Patwar says in EP2, I think. But yeah, I think, if I remember correctly, the OST that plays here, it's this color. This color just fits so well, because Natsu, like, being part of the Ushiromiya family is part of Natsuhi's identity. Like, everything she has done to mitigate the failures of her husband and keep up the appearances of the Ushiromiya name, everything has been nothing but selfless. And so being an Ushiromiya has just become part of her identity. So then having all of that, both her efforts and her loyalty to Kraus being rejected by Erika, after she has already been dealing with the pressure of trying to fix Kraus' investment mistakes and carrying the burden that Kinzo has been dead for years and spearheading that whole operation, and then just in a single day all her efforts are just exposed and proved trivial by Erika, on top of her husband and daughter dying. It's just so much for her to take in. No OST would have made like justice to this scene, except for this color, I think.
This color is so good. I think, like, it's crazy to me how well done Umineko soundtrack is, and like this color is the type of song that, like, even till this day, whenever I hear it, I just immediately think about Natsuhi. Like, it's so deeply tied to the scene, and just like the feeling of complete like hopelessness. Like, I think like this is what it means, like, you know, when you get to this point, like you believe in the Umineko magic now, and you really do just believe in like Natsuhi, and like, you know, you're like, stop kicking her when she's down.
She's already dead.
Yeah, she's so down. She's seeing diamonds. Yeah, I opened the Discover video on YouTube because I remembered I typed a comment trying to describe the feeling of the song. So what I wrote is, this song is calmly overwhelming, like a big wave slowly approaching. It feels like all the problems in the world are swimming around you and not giving you time to focus on one at a time. They're all coming at once. And you simply give up? It's like a barrage of feelings, a tempest of worries, and a profound sense of helplessness that in an instant hits you with the realization that all efforts are meaningless and ruthlessly cripples you into reluctance.
Wow, that's so good.
Deep.
What a fucking poet.
Yeah, oh my goodness.
I'm a word forgerist.
Yeah, it's like, it's very intense music when somebody's trying to accuse you of being a whore, so, you know, it's very fitting.
Not only a whore, but a murderer.
A whore and a murderer.
Murdering whore. Perhaps even a slut. That's crazy. You know, like, sometimes, like, to some people, that's kind of a W, you know, like, she's a girl boss for doing that. Like, have you seen that old man? I mean, I get it. Have you seen that family? Of course I'd kill that 9-year-old.
What?
That's just,
you want to talk about something?
My forever just like absolute comedy to remember that Lorenzo is at the vanguard of yes, kill all child.
Lorenzo's like, huh? Lorenzo like hears like the conservatives' protests against euthanasia, and he's like, actually, is there a way to make like reverse euthanasia and kill the kids actually?
Yeah. No. It's instead of euthanasia, my friends and I keep talking about the fact that we should have post-birth abortions in general. Like, you know,
that's just killing someone. It's not abortion anymore.
Well, it's called post-birth abortions. That's why, like.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. Exactly.
When are they of natural methods? Well, it's just delayed abortion.
Exactly. You know, you had pre-existing causes. You know, clearly it was a murder.
Brings a whole new meaning to I brought you in this world. I can take you out of it.
I mean, that's basically what Eva is. It's like
anyway.
I mean, she has never killed her own child, so.
I sure hope not. Eva, is there something you want to tell us about?
Yeah, Eva, bring her to the mic. Okay, sorry. Let's continue.
She just starts beatboxing. I killed a child.
Sorry, 1 second. I'll be right back.
Okay.
George, you have an older brother you didn't know of.
Is that your cool track for her Eva murder?
It could be. Episode 10, rap of the Golden Witch.
Rap for the gold. There must have been a rap track between, like, somebody must have made it, right? Like, I feel like that's like the most 2000 thing possible. Like, speaking of 2000 thing possible, Genshin Impact. Did you watch that other fucking Hoyo Fair video where it's like Fischl and Mona having a rap battle?
What? No.
Okay, don't watch it.
Okay.
It just reminds me too much of those like old school like internet videos. I don't know. I was never a fan of rap battles. I know that there a Sans and
Furudo Erika, yes.
Furudo Erika rap battle.
Yes, there is.
I'm just like having like a fucking memory brain. I'm like, oh yeah, did this happen? Did that happen? Are these even real?
They did happen. It's fine, Mushroom. I know you had a whole therapy session to try to forget about it. I'm sorry to bring it all up again.
Yeah, it's when you're like I need to like explain this to somebody, or like, is it even real? Is it a real life? Is it a fantasy?
Caught in no man's why no escape from reality.
These sections that we're just going to be saying really random things while Lorenzo is gone is.
I have a really random thing to say. So you weren't here when I talked about it, but well, one of our academic traditions is to wear a cape, and the cape has emblems related to like our academic life.
Mm-hmm.
And this is gonna like be the two versions of Pokemon games. So Lorenzo heard the story of one of my emblems. You're gonna hear the other one, and then you can listen to the whole version once the episode is out. So basically, you need to have an odd number of emblems, and to get around that, people have what they call the odd emblem, where they just have an emblem for the number of emblems to be an odd number.
Sorry, I'm back. I have breaking news. Sorry to interrupt whatever you guys are talking about, but my brother was talking about an emergency call he was called to for work. It was I think it was like a gay club. And he goes in there, and he was like, leather night at a gay club, and he was taken aback by all the people wearing like leather dog masks and like, leather straps and whatever.
Yes.
And it's dark and scary. There's a guy like unconscious on the ground that they had to take care of. But then he was like describing it to us. He was like, it was like a scare maze, but with like gay people.
Is your brother an EMT or something?
He's a firefighter, but like he was just like, it was scary, loud, dark. There's a fog machine, and instead of scare actors, it was just gay people everywhere.
Brother war.
Truly, oh my goodness.
Oh my god, I forgot how funny it is to hear about your random brother lores.
Why did he call it that? I mean, like, if you're like on the outsider looking in, even like as an insider looking in, if you've ever been to like a club where people wear leather dog masks, here's the F-word lesson of the day. But people who wear like leather dog masks, they do like puppy play.
Yeah.
So they like pretend to act like dogs. So one time we went to, or like a couple months ago, we went to like this Pride event, and in the leather section they had a doggy playpen, and it had, instead of dogs, they had people wearing the leather masks, and they were in their underwear, and you could pet them for free, and people were like, stroking them everywhere. They were sticking their hands down their cracks. They were doing everything to them, and I was like, in front of my salad.
That's wild.
But so anyways,
oh god, I forgot how fucking funny this podcast could be.
Just randomly in the middle of the podcast, just a story about the weather fair.
No, it's just so fucking funny. I just remember the time when your brother, you told the story about how your brother like really is cuckoo for Poco Puffs, and you would, I just can't fucking believe it.
He's still beyond that shit. It's crazy. Like, I didn't think he like would do that in front of other people, but he has since moved out like nearby. But like when I visit him, he like does his shit like in front of his friends, and I'm like, wow, he does that to you guys too? That's crazy. How are you friends with him? But they love it, I guess. I don't even know what his latest meme is. Both of my brothers, actually, they laugh like Scooby-Doo now. They go, ree-hee-hee-hee. I don't know if that's like a meme or if that's a thing that they both do, but that's kind of like on their brains at the moment.
I'm forever fucking astonished that your brothers are real.
Yeah, well, that makes two of us. But on with the story.
I was telling the story of another one of my emblems, Lorenzo.
Go for it. Yeah, please. Sorry.
So I was saying we need to have an odd number of emblems. It's just a thing. So if you have an even number of emblems, you gotta find another emblem to stitch to the cape so that you can have an odd number. So people just have an emblem that sometimes literally just says this is the odd emblem, so they can just stitch it in when they need another emblem.
Oh, that's cute.
So what I did is I made a custom emblem, which had the one winged eagle from Umi Neko, and then it said, without the odd emblem, it cannot be seen. It being the cape. Because without the odd emblem, the cape cannot be seen. I can't wear it.
Oh, that's clever.
That is so funny.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wait, so why do you need an odd number? Is it supposed to be like...
It's just a thing. It's just a funny thing.
Okay.
I'll send you a picture of my cape, actually.
Yeah,
I'm really proud of how it looks.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Doesn't it also have the podcast symbol on it, as I remember?
It does also have the podcast emblem on it. You're completely right.
I think we all graduated there at that moment.
In Portugal.
In Portugal.
There you go. It's in book club.
Oh, look. You look so cute.
Do you sing?
Oh, that actually looks pretty cool.
Thanks.
Okay, we need to stop going on the most ridiculous tangents.
Yeah, let's get back into the episode.
Okay, so let's just ignore like his life milestone and success and
yeah,
let's talk about
that.
his anime story.
Did you think I came here to support any of you? I came here to talk about stupid anime.
I know, damn. We're here like, on this roast off of this like, anime lady, this MILF, like the best character in the game, honestly. But yeah, she's just being roasted, saying like you were being a whore and sleeping with like the head of the family.
Yeah, and then you have the audience reaction. You have some characters going like, "Oh no, how could she do this? I can't believe it." And then Goda, his interjection is, "I knew the pain in Madame's heart. I always tried to support her, but I failed, and look what has happened." Like,
oh damn!
This man is so up his ass. He thinks the reason this whole family is crumbling is because he didn't pay enough attention. Of course, God, you're the sole pillar.
Honestly, that sounds like he was coming on to her, but
yeah, I mean, this is the existing subplot about how Natsuhi was supposed to have an affair with Goda.
Oh, true.
And then it
right.
doesn't exist anymore in this version, but I guess some of the scenes, not like some of the scenes, but some of the themes are still lingering about that.
Interesting.
Yeah, in case you didn't know, on one of the drafts of Umineko, Natsuhi was supposed to have an affair with Goda. I'm glad she didn't. I much prefer Natsuhi's character this way.
I'm also glad. Yeah, me too. I also glad that she didn't, because like I think there's something incredibly more tragic, the fact that she did nothing wrong and she still is.
I mean, besides throwing a baby off a cliff.
Oh yeah, and besides throwing not only a whole ass baby, like caused another woman to die.
Yeah, we always forget about the maid.
Yeah,
I know, that's insane.
Justice for the maid.
I had to like read it 3 times. I was like, is nobody just gonna like mention that she actually did kill somebody like on purpose, like an adult person?
Yeah, like I was gonna be like, the baby lived, but the maid is 100% fucking dead.
I guess that's like another theme, like how it goes to show like, oh, she's so rich that she doesn't care about like the servants. They're like cows to them. They're just like
It's furniture. They're just furniture to them. That's the whole.
They're furniture for sure. She pushed a chair off a cliff. What are you talking about? She had like one of those. The baby was in the baby walker, and she was like pushing it off the thing. No life was lost.
Yeah. It's like when you would watch those videos and they're like, we dropped the whole piano from the top of our school, and it's like, and everybody's like, no piano. At least that's how I feel. Every time I see a person drop a piano off of a building, I'm like, no, it's a fucking piano.
How often are people dropping pianos from the tops of buildings in front of you? What the fuck? You're saying every single time? I think that only... What?
Anyway, let's continue.
So yeah, we kind of jumped ahead, but after everybody was like dogpiling on Natsuhi, she kind of just fesses up and says, "Okay, fine, I did kill somebody, but not today. I killed them 19 years ago by pushing a baby off a cliff, and also like a chair it was connected to, which is actually a human person. But you know, they're rich; they don't care about lowly. Like a baby has status over a like an adult person." Which is kind of crazy, but she's basically like blaming all of this on the baby that she pushed off the cliff because of earlier in the story she received a call from, you know, a mystery person who's taking revenge. Yeah, the 19-year-old baby was going goo 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 gaga like in the phone, really threatening, like, and she was like, "Oh my god, this is all the baby's doing. Like, it's trying to get back at me for pushing it off a cliff. What did I do to deserve this? Like, lady, you pushed a baby off a cliff, but I can't blame you." So they're just trying to pick it apart, and I think at the tea party, they're just like, or what happened? It was like they successfully, or was it? Sorry, Natsuhi has her Phoenix Wright breakdown in front of everybody, but then it's interrupted by Battler saying that he's kind of figured it out, like, oh, like this isn't the real truth, but it's also the end of the game, or this chapter, this episode, sorry. And then we start, well, we'll like quickly wrap up with like this episode's tea party, and then we can move on to more discussion. But basically this tea party has Erica and Lambda Delta just, you know, applauding Erica and giving her like her flowers. You know, they give her, you know, one of those fancy portraits, and it looks very cute and nice, and she's like, "Congrats on, you know,
not being an absolute failure, Erica. Congratulations."
Yeah, you got Natsuhi's ass. Like, you know, that logic was great. But they have to start another game for some reason. Oh no, they give Erica the throne, I guess. You know, they let her become the game master and explain this story from her.
They let her write a new game board to celebrate the fact that she's now the game master, that she controls everything. She can weave a story however she pleases. So she calls it Checkmate of the Golden Witch to completely eviscerate Battle of the game.
Yeah.
Even though she's already dead. She's literally beating a dead horse.
Yeah, she's just going to use her Erica facts and knowledge to, like, you know, show everything how it is. Because, you know, Erica, she, like, uses all the facts presented to her as a detective, and she weaves a story out of it. Which is, like, really interesting because in relation to current events, or so I've heard, I, like, just sort of keep up with, like, online rumors. But you know that, like, little Tay?
Yeah, little Tay.
Yeah.
Wait,
how
what?
she got, like, they announced, so there was this kid, this 14, or like, I think she was like 12 at the time.
12.
But,
I think she was very young.
Yeah, she got massively popular, like viral, like had a viral video of her, like, pretending to be a rapper. Like, her mom was like a real estate agent, having her like wave like a fan of $100 bills, like sitting in a fancy
like
car.
A lot of cash, and like basically like she says the N-word, like like it's like no, like I mean, like that's the whole deal, like, you know, like
the whole nine yards. Damn.
She's supposed to be diss tracking everybody, and like I think she was younger than 12. She was like very young, like that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, continue.
Basically, she was like, she was basically a puppet for like her family, so they capitalized off of her
and her brother, who like wanted her to do all these things.
Right. And then I guess they do get successful, and she gets like the popularity that they were looking for. But then, like, this past week, they announced that she and her brother like died, like straight up died. But everybody's like, okay, well, wait a minute, this is suspicious. Like, apparently her dad and his new wife are abusers. They probably killed them, or like, you know, they're trying to restart their lives. So there's a lot of, you know, speculation going around on the internet that's very reminiscent of, like, you know, Erica's point of view of the story, because they're just kind of like trying to piece together all these like previously known bits of info, and they're just trying to say that, oh, this is how their lives probably were, like it's probably terrible. Oh, there's like a lot of, you know, manipulations. I mean, like, it's a child star situation. Of course there's going to be like crazy shit happening.
Another thing is, I'm pretty sure she's not dead. I think they already talked about the fact that she came, like, there's just a lot of myriad of very weird things about the case, and it's really awful, because clearly, like, the child is definitely like even if the child was like told to do a bunch of things, like the child is definitely not at fault throughout like all of these things, and like they like they basically like just like she's just a puppet. Like they gave her a script and made her do these things over and over again, and just made her say like really like gave her an accent and made her like say all these things. I don't know. I find it's incredibly sinister. Like from all like case in point.
Right, for sure. It's crazy, but it just reminded me of what was going on in the story. Anybody else have any thoughts, like analysis wise, before you go into spoiler territory?
I really like Erica's portrait. I think it's amazing, and I love it so much.
It is really
so
good.
She's so smug, but also very cute.
Yeah, it's a very overall good portrait. I like the thing that I really like the portraits is that so a lot of their portraits are actually portraits within a portrait, if you know what I'm talking about. Like there's portraits behind her, and like there's like there's gonna be one later on that comes up that's also just kind of like that. It's like, oh, there's a portrait and there's something behind her, but behind them. But like Erica's portrait has like a bunch of dead trees in the back and has like a fucking busted ass like chair. I don't know, it fits with her vibe very well. Like woman's all about ruins.
Yeah, and the fact that it's all dead trees behind her could also mean that like everything she leaves a trace of destruction behind her.
Oh, I never really thought about that. That's a very good.
Umi Neko portrait backgrounds have a lot of things to analyze, especially the ones that are yet to come.
Oh man, love that bitch even more. That's crazy.
She's so funny.
And my last thought is actually my thought regards the architecture of the mansion, because we don't know what the layout of the mansion is, but there's a really interesting thing that happens that may lead some insight as to how the corridors are organized. So in order to get into this, I first need to make a small summary of what the trick behind cornering Natsuhi to where she would admit Kinzo was dead is. The cornering of Natsuhi hinges on the argument that Kinzo couldn't have hidden anywhere but in Natsuhi's room, I mean. And that's because none of the seals that Eva instructed by Erika, supposedly placed on every door, none of those had been broken. So these seals were only broken when Erika went around the mansion investigating during this chapter, because the text does say that she does go around going do that. So we know that between midnight and the morning, no doors had been opened in the mansion except for a couple of them, like the doors to the parlor and the kitchen, because that's the place where the adults were. But the adults were all together then, so they can vouch for each other. But yeah, everything else, the seals should be intact if no one has gone into the rooms or out or exited them. So because Erika's whole trick hinges on this, we can just assume that none of the seals had been broken, which means Kinzo couldn't have been hiding anywhere except for Natsuhi's room where she was sleeping. So since she was sleeping there and she did exit the room, that seal was broken. So that's how Erika goes around suggesting that Kinzo spent the night in Natsuhi's room, because it's the only room that had the seal broken. However, this argument does shed some unexpected light on the layout of the house, because you could make the argument that Kinzo had been hiding in the corridors of the mansion and just kept avoiding coming across anyone. He would just be consistently on the move.
Like a big rat.
Yeah, he could just be consistently on the move. And the fact that this argument isn't brought up, it isn't made by anyone, it means two things. It means the corridors do not loop, so they aren't a closed circuit.
No closed circuit.
Okay. It is, because it means that if you were to walk from the first floor to the last, there would only be one way to go about it. So if Kinzo was in the corridors, you would, at a certain point, come across him, because there would be nowhere to flee. If he doesn't go into one of the rooms, it'll be a dead end. And because it's an open circuit, it means there's only one flight of stairs connecting each floor. So if you ever want to draw the layout of the mansion, this trick here helps a lot. Because you could imagine that in a mansion this size, maybe at least the background images did give the impression that the mansion did kind of like a loop, especially because there's a courtyard in the middle. I totally imagine the corridors looped, but they don't.
I don't know if it loops or not. I think it makes a C shape, at least.
Yeah, but that's still an open circuit.
Yes, that's still an open circuit. That's very true.
You could even have it like do a no, as long as it wasn't an open circuit. There was a wall in the middle.
Well, then where the fuck would the courtyard be then?
In the middle.
If
it was a no, like a letter O.
Oh, I guess so.
But in that if it is a no, you'll have to have like a flight of stairs in one side of the O and then the other in the other one, so that again it would be impossible for Kinto to hide in the corridors. Yeah, so that was my architecture thought.
Thank you for your architecture thoughts.
You're welcome.
I mean, speaking of architecture, there were, not to be a Chicago shill, but there was an architecture tour that we took, and it was very amazing, and y'all should do it.
Oh yeah, architecture in Chicago is very pretty.
Yeah, the skyscrapers and...
I guess this is the most unhelpful American-based things that we can talk about to alienate this even more. But
yeah, exactly. Lorenzo will be like, you should totally go visit it, and I'm like, yeah, I do not think if you've looked at a map anytime recently, but like Chicago's kind of far away, my guy.
I think you should just like walk. I think that's a skill issue for you. Not gonna lie, you just need to walk across the ocean.
I feel like that was such an easy suggestion. Des just laughed because
it's just an afternoon walk to help digest the lunch.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, do you know that this is another random Chicago fact? But did you know the guy who made the beam is like a total weirdo who like was a snobby architectural person who made the beam, and he hates people calling it the bean, so that's why it's good. Everybody should call it the bean.
What's the bean? Is that
It's a bean. It's just like a metal bean.
Is that like the half a ball of screens in the middle of the city that people say confuses the traffic?
Are you talking about the two screens that spit water at each other?
What?
Did you see that thing at least when you were there, Lorenzo?
Lorenzo says his PC froze.
Oh, damn.
I sure hope the recording isn't lost.
I mean, it would be really funny.
Please. Audacity, we are counting on you. Audacity, do not fail us now. It would be such a fucking shame.
We're still gonna post an episode regardless, even if we don't have a person's recording.
I don't think that's possible, though.
It's possible. I believe in us.
Lorenzo, we need to pray. We need to pray to all different gods of all different religions. One of them's gotta be real.
Ciconia gods.
Oh no, he left the voice call.
Okay.
Please.
Okay, I'm gonna eat. Oh, guys, I'm fucked probably. I think we actually have a lot of very good things in this episode.
Me too, but shit. This child is dying in our arms.
Who's the child? The podcast?
God, so Mushroom, wanna talk about something?
Wanna talk about anything? Okay.
Have you watched Breaking Bad?
Yeah, I haven't. I only watched like 2 seasons of it.
Oh, okay. I'm halfway through the last one. It's
how's it going for you? How's Breaking Bad?
I've realized there are some similarities. There's
Umi
like
Neko and Breaking Bad?
No. I've realized that there's like staples of these kinds of shows where the main character is doing something illegal and they try to keep it from their family while living a double life. So I've started tracing parallels between Breaking Bad and Death Note, and I've started making archetypes like there's gotta be the family member who's a policeman. There's gotta be the I know the only archetype I've thought of is there's gotta be a family member who's a policeman. Lorenzo?
Oh, it might be. Oh, he might be just his laptop stopped freezing, and so it let him join back in, but it's not him.
I mean, he's on in. Oh, yeah.
Okay, we should probably just close out the episode at this point. Listen to how sad Yukishi. Not Yukishi.
No. We haven't even gotten into the spoiler thoughts, Mushroom.
Okay, then we have to at least wait until Lorenzo reboots his computer.
Oh, the Audacity manual on Google says Audacity will attempt to recover the data on the next launch.
God.
We're here with you. We're all on the same adventure. We're all in the same boat, Lorenzo. We'll get you through this. Let's go. I think I'll keep this on the episode. It's too funny. Unfortunately, Lorenzo doesn't have a recording for this part, but he's here with us.
Honestly speaking, regardless, we're gonna post it. I'm gonna post it. I don't even care. I think the episode is really funny, and it has such good things in it. We have a whole discussion of Chicago. Yeah, exactly. There's a whole, it's like those like it's like choose your own adventure, but it's like fill your own name in and like And it's like, imagine if you're Lorenzo, what would you say?
Lorenzo says it's working on updates. By the way, I'm gonna make a highlights reel of this whole section. Obviously, I'm not gonna keep it all.
I'm just gonna tell you that I'm loudly eating Sour Patch Kids right now.
You're eating Sour Patch Kids? What's that?
Oh, have you never had Sour Patch Kids? Is there
Not by that name. Sour Patch Kids. That's what you're saying. Let me look it up.
Yeah, it's like a sour gummy. Like it's like gummy worms, you know.
Ooh. Okay, we have sour. What the fuck do you call gummies? I guess. Isn't gummies like the ones that are bear shaped?
Yeah, they could be bear shaped. There could be a lot of shapes, but bear shape is one of those.
Oh, okay. So like gummies is the umbrella term, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, we have. When they're sour, they have a different shape. They're not human shaped. Usually sour gummies. Usually sour gummies are that shape where you can like make a roll out of it. You know what I'm saying? It's like duct tape.
Oh, they're like okay. So like sour rolls.
I guess. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. It's cool and it's sour. It's good.
I like sour egg candy. This is a riveting fucking conversation.
What was your gateway gummy mushroom as a kid?
Sour Patch gateway gummies. It's got Sour Patch watermelons. So
Eat that watermelon.
So it actually comes from the fact that like when I was around 14 is when I first came to America, and then my sister bought me like a bag of it, and she was like, here, have some gummy. And the thing is that like I actually never had gummies before I came to America because they're just like not a thing. Like Chinese people like hard candy more or other kinds of candy. So most of the times that's actually something that I misses a lot when I'm in America. Like I really wish I could eat more hard candy because like I just really like them. And there's just not that many in America. So
really? You don't have those? Damn.
Like there's like Jolly Ranchers, which are fucking disgusting. But like like I really like what's that thing called? Like so like for example, like a lot of very classic kind of like Chinese candies are just like fruit flavor, like hard candy. So like I remember because I don't know if you have cough drops before. At least American cough drops are like taste delicious and they also like are flavored. So like I used to just like want to eat cough drops like candy because it's just like super fucking delicious. And then until I was told by somebody, I was like, hey, you know that if you keep eating cough drops, the cough drops won't work anymore. I'm like, no.
What? Is that true? Is that real?
I don't know. I feel like it's the type of thing that people say to scare the shit out of you, but like it scares the shit out of me. I want my cough drop to work when I need it to work.
Yes, recover projects for Enzo. Oh, it's freezing again? Do you see the audio waves? Yes, so what do you have? Good, okay. Ooh, yes, there's still hope. Hello? Mushroom?
Did it die again for him?
Oh, okay, you're here, Mushroom, okay.
Lorenzo!
Oh no, don't tell me it fucking froze again!
I usually do chicken porridge, but I have like the gray egg thingy. Yeah, so I eat that with like soy sauce and like ginger. Classic.
You're eating people?
Yeah, it's the scary egg thing that like all of the like people on the who's not Asian is like, ew, what's that? It tastes delicious though, so a scary jelly egg.
The 100-year egg?
Yeah. It's delicious though, so who cares?
You're keeping eggs for 100 years?
Yeah. I'll let you look for it. It's called 1,000-year egg.
This is wine on a whole nother level. What the hell?
Egg. It's crazy because it looks so fucked up, but it's like such a common thing for me to eat. Like I don't think about how weird it is.
Oh, what the fuck is this?
It tastes
black?
Yeah, it's black.
What the? This is some Evangelion shit.
It's preserved. It's preserved egg. It's so delicious. I don't know what to say.
Hell no.
Yeah, you eat it with porridge and chicken. Imagine if you recorded an episode and you thought it was normal, but then it's just agonizing screams.
Yeah, in the middle of the record, you just hear, help.
That would be pretty metal.
I'll just fucking die editing.
It's like it has the part that goes, "You're gonna die in 7 days."
unless you send this post to 7 friends.
Oh yeah, speaking about sending this post to 7 friends, I have a really funny story about when I was in high school. My friend, you could type words onto your calculator. So I had a calculator, and my friend typed, "You're gonna die in 7 days." And then I remember I was in trigonometry, and my high school teacher like walked up to me and was like looking at me while I was trying to like turn on my calculator and do the calculation, and she just sees me scroll through the word of like, "You're gonna die in 7 days," and I was like, "Oh, haha, my friend did a funny prank." And my like a trick teacher just looked at me and was like, "Are you sure that they were friends?"
They gotta be friends, because you gotta share the post with 7 friends, so you can send it to enemies. It's gotta be friends.
Exactly.
So Renzo, are you back with us? Is the nice? Yes. We did pray to all the gods in the world, so.
Okay, so I think we're good here. Okay, let's continue then.
Let's continue. Thank you, Lorenzo.
Bye.
Okay, so we're back without Lorenzo.
Yeah, since we killed Lorenzo in the back. So we played like Gartic Phone over the weekend, and that we like had a whole picture where we didn't crucify Lorenzo, but like it was you and
Lorenzo.
I fighting, and then Lorenzo is like in
Crying.
the background. That's basically what's happening right now.
Yeah, we celebrated the 3rd anniversary of the server, not the YouTube channel. It was funny.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's actually, I do have to say this. I know that we're already this far into our recording, but like, I need to really thank Des for even starting the server and starting the podcast and, getting a bunch of people because, at this point 3 years ago, I was probably incredibly bored staying at home, not knowing what to do. And, I remember my first recording was done in a bathroom and it was incredibly horrible acoustic for some. I don't remember why was I don't know. Yeah, exactly. But I'm really happy to be on this podcast. Thanks for the 5 people who listen to us. It's kind of crazy to say, but I forever don't remember that there's people in this world that listen to this podcast. And then when people like come on, like it's funny because we had so many people who joined the podcast after our second round of having to need people on. And they would tell me, they would be like, "Oh yeah, in this episode you said this," and I was like, "What the fuck? Like you were listening to this podcast?" Like I just thought these were just like private voice calls that I was having with like my 3 online my like online friends I talked to. Like how would anybody know what I was talking about? But anyway, but yeah, thanks for having this podcast in the first place. I don't know why I'm having this conversation right now. We should be talking about Umi Neko spoilers now. Des, did you also die?
Oh no! Now my laptop crashed! I cannot believe this. Mushroom at this point is probably like, Des, are you there? No, I'm not there, Mushroom, my laptop crashed.
Fucking hell.
What you're hearing now probably sounds different from what I've been sounding up until now, because since I know my laptop now just decides to fucking die for no reason, I also started recording on my phone. So I was recording in 2 different devices at the same time. So now you have like a real-time example of how different it sounds recording with my phone and recording with my mic, which is good because it did cost 120 euros. So, the difference better be noticeable, I'm opening Discord again. I'm opening Audacity again. Can't wait to get into Discord. I'll call and be like, Mushroom, want to hear a funny story?
Yeah, I want to hear a funny story.
Oh shit, I didn't know I was already on the call. My laptop crashed.
So do you also have to go recover now?
Oh no. Funny story. It does tell me there's a project to be recovered, but it gives me 2 different projects and I'm not actually sure which one it is. I'm just gonna choose this one and hope this is the one.
Oh god.
It does say 13th of August, so it is 13th of August.
It is 13th of August. So my cool confession to you right now is that I have been playing Simulated Universe this whole time while we were recording the episode.
Okay, Mushroom. I'm glad you're having fun. You better hope I don't hear no clicks on the recording, Mushroom.
Well, this is the very important part. So Des keeps complaining about the fact that I love clicking doing the episode because I have ADHD or whatever. So instead, I decided that I can't play Minecraft anymore because that's on a computer. But you know what I could play? I can play it on my phone. I can play Genshin Impact and I can play Star Rail on my phone. And the funny thing is, the people were like, "Why do you play Star Rail on your phone?" And I was like, "Because I actually don't play."
Because I have this bitch who keeps complaining during episodes.
True. It's so funny because I was like, Des, you are like literally a staple in my everyday conversations with people. I'll be like, "Oh yeah, my friend Des," and I was like, "Oh yeah, you have no idea who he is."
Oh, really?
He lives in Portugal.
Really?
Like, it's funny because like it's like the type of thing where you're like, "Oh." Like, you're like, "I have a friend and he lives in Canada, so you can never meet him." And it's like, yeah, this is my friend Des. It's just not here.
Who just lives in a non-existent country.
And not existent country.
Yeah.
Surrounded by fake K-pop people who were manufactured by the K-pop machine.
Yeah, they actually recorded a video clip in the back rooms.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything you see is just CGI. Those backgrounds do not exist.
No, they just went to Brazil.
Yes. Okay, so let's get back into Umineko. Do you have non-spoiler thoughts?
No, I think that's it. We got to the we're stopping at the tea party, right? Correct?
Yep.
Yep.
And next episode we're gonna get into the secret tea party and present our full theories on EP5 on the spoiler section of next episode.
Yeah, wait till you hear about this cool line that I saw that made both Des and I incredibly angry.
No, we're gonna tell that story in this episode. We shouldn't take time from next episode.
True.
Okay, so with that said, we're gonna get into spoilers. If you have not read past this part, we're gonna kindly ask you to get the fuck off, go stand in the hallway while the adults speak. Because we're gonna spoil everything. So we hope you enjoyed the episode. We hope you enjoyed this episode's worth of Lorenzo brother war.
Oh yeah. And then, honestly speaking, there's incredibly chaotic things that happen in this episode. Oh my god, I am now alone in this podcast.
Oh my god, this episode.
Oh god, Des just came back. This is horrible. How is everybody just having the worst time recording?
God said fuck this episode specifically.
I am so sad.
So anyway, see you people who have not read Umineko past this point. We hope you liked the episode. Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
So
spoiler
sections. Des, do you want to share the funny story about our funny story? Or...
Yes. So here's the thing. Episode 5 was really racking my brain because I was trying to make my theory, and the thing is, the how done it and who done it is extremely fucking simple. The thing is, when you're an Umineko fan, you respect the story. You wanna get to a reasonable why done it, and that's fucking hard in EP5 because of the goddamn phone call. It keeps fucking everything up because then it doesn't line with the fact that Butler is bailing Natsuhi and Kinzo out in the study, and then it doesn't line up with it because you could just explain that by him having a change of heart, but then there's another phone call after that, so it throws everything into disarray. So I asked Mushroom for help.
Yes, exactly.
I asked Mushroom for help, and at a point we were trying to figure out ways for the phone call to not be made by Butler, and we got to the idea: what if the fact that Butler and Amakusa have the same voice actor was intentional? Because no other two characters in Umineko share the same voice actor. Why the fuck would they do this? And Amakusa does work for Eva, who would be on the side of the people who would be orchestrating this fake murder, so it would make sense. And the fact that the gold is found so early on would also help this theory, because it could just be the gold could have been found before Sayo cut off the communications with the outside world, and Eva wouldn't know that Sayo planned to do that, so she could have totally planned for Amakusa to make the phone calls during the family conference. And then we went on like an hour long, 2 hour long adventure of trying to make this theory work. We kept getting into roadblocks, but we kept overcoming them. It was such an adventure. We couldn't wait for the episode to record the episode and present to you the full theory. Then I realized, no wait, it actually isn't possible for Amakusa to be the one to make the phone call.
Akasaka
Because
in Umineko. Well, Akasaka also has the same voice actor as a Battler and as Amakusa. Just think about that.
Oh no, yeah, okay, yeah, I'm getting confused on the phone calls. Okay, run it back. There's a phone call where Kuraos and the man from 19 years ago speak on the same phone call, and it doesn't work if that's Amakusa because Kuraos can't be off the island and Amakusa can't be on the island because of the red truths regarding the number of people, and there's a typhoon around. So it just killed the theory right then and there. So then we kept thinking about who could have made the phone calls.
Wait,
then.
is it actually am I crazy? Who the fuck? I'm just gonna go check who Amakusa, because I know Akasaka has the same voice actor as
It's Amakusa who has the same voice actor as Butler, not Akasaka.
No, Akasaka does have the same voice actor as Battler.
What? What?
I,
Is Butler everyone?
no, but no, because Amakusa. Sorry, I'm going crazy. Amakusa does not have the same voice actor as Battler.
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't.
What? What? No, yes, he does.
No, he doesn't.
Amakusa voice.
No, he doesn't. Akasaka has the same voice actor as Battler.
There ain't no way.
Those are two different ass people.
No. Yeah. No, wait. Who voices Butler?
Daisuke Ono.
Voice actor. I'm not even.
Yeah, and Daisuke
Oh
Ono
my god.
Akasaka, not Amakusa.
What a fucking. This wasn't a brain fart. This was a whole eruption. God damn.
We're going crazy.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. So then we kept thinking who could have made the phone call if not Butler, because we really didn't want it to be Butler, because having Butler be the one to make the phone call just brings up a lot of problems. So we thought, okay, what if it's Sayo?
Yeah, so I wanted to interject about my thoughts about this, is that, like, I think most people who read this think that Sayo does the phone call, right? Like, I feel like that is not a very, like, odd opinion between...
It's not a hot take, yeah.
Like, it's not a hot take. Like, I think most people think it's probably, like, Sayo. And the fact that they use this Battler's voice in PS3 version is probably because they want to obfuscate the fact that it is, like... it's Sayo, right? Like, that's, I feel like that's a very, very simple thought process, because, like, Sayo orchestrates the whole thing. Who else would know about the, like, man from 19 years ago besides Sayo, and, like, so on and so forth. So like, the whole, like, we wanted to make the whole Battler made the voice call thing work, but, like, it also doesn't really line up with any of his other actions throughout the whole thing. So, like, you know, Battler on the one side, you know, being Natsuhi's, like, white knight, you know, like supporting her all the way, and then meanwhile also, like, not only, like, basically doing these phone calls, but also reveling in the fact that he's doing these phone calls.
Because he's in, it's like he's enjoying it, like the tone.
Yeah, exactly.
He's really vingative. You can't fake that. So, like, how can you convince Butler to do this? And one of the reasons we came up with is, what if Sayo told him a big chunk of her backstory? That would surely fuel Butler's hatred for Natsuhi to where he would do this with such burning passion.
Yeah, which is another thing that while we talked about, I came to a very disagree with, because, like, in my imagination, like, I don't think Sayo would ever get to the point where she would ever tell Battler about her backstory.
Yeah.
And, like,
because the whole point is not telling him.
Yeah, the whole point is to not telling him. And, like, and then we went down this whole line of thought to, like, look, like, basically think about, like, what about the fact that if we could say, like, oh, like, you know, it's a story without love. Maybe it's, like, maybe that's why it's, like, very OOC, I guess, is a good way to put it.
And we even came to the metaphor that the quote, "This is a story without love," is kind of like a get out of jail free card for episode 5.
Yeah, truly.
But yeah, so then we were trying to make this work with Sayo, and then Mushroom runs into the phone call where Natsuhi is told to go to the wardrobe, which gets interrupted by Goda and Kanon knocking on the phone. And then we're just like, oh no, you know what this means, right? No, Mushroom is like, you know what this means, right? And I'm like, no? What does it mean? And then Mushroom's like, Sayo's right there. She could have been the one to make the phone call.
Yeah, it's incredibly devastating.
And then I start coping, and I'm like, okay, what if the scene is fake? I mean, the scene could have been fake. Then Mushroom's like, okay, then what's the point of the goddamn scene? And I'm like, oh no, you're totally right. The point of this scene is to show that it couldn't be Sayo.
Yeah,
Because, like, what would have been the point of the phone call being interrupted by the servants? Those servants specifically. There wouldn't be no point to that.
It truly makes me really annoyed about it because, like, I think, like, I really find the scene fascinating because the two people interrupting is Canon and Goda. And not only it says, like, Canon saying, Madame, are you there? Good morning. And, like, this is, like, right after the phone call, where, like, right during the phone call where the person is calling Natsuki and also shares with her, like, Krause's, like, pleading voice in the background. And then, the voices are coming from, like, and not only it says that, it says, Goda goes, it's Goda and Canon, madam, please wake up. And then and the narration says, the voice is coming from across the door with Canon and Goda, which means that, like, even if, let's say, Sayo made all the other phone calls, this can't be, like Sayo who's making the phone call. And, like, also, like, the person is responding to Natsuki. Like, the person even asks, what is it? Did something happen? And Natsuki, like, replies to them. And then they're like, okay, like, so who the fuck is doing the phone call? Like, is it really Battler?
Because, like, if you really wanted to stretch it with some mental gymnastics, you could say that it was a different servant and the scene is fake. But then everything's free game then. It would be such a cheap trick. So we have to take this scene as an indication that Sayo is there. It isn't Sayo doing the phone call.
It's maddening. I am so mad.
Yep.
Yui Kishu, why did you do this to me?
So basically, this is our call for help. Listeners, please help us get through this.
Everybody in our listeners, please tell us how stupid we are, but we really need help. I really want to know.
Like the other podcast members, they're making their theories. They're gonna share them with you next episode. But, like, in case no one actually comes up with a decent theory, we kind of need your help. So write your ideas down.
I feel very embarrassed because it is the type of thing where I'm just like, it's kind of maddening to not know exactly what it is. Like, I am just and the thing is that, like, the reason why we were even trying to look for Battler theory in the first place is because, like, it's a very like I said before, I like when Umi Neko give me the options to think of different theory and not force me to make a decision on that's the theory, that's the only theory I get to do. And the fact that they have a scene where Canon is talking at the same time as this mysterious caller, it really forces you to think, oh, it can't be Canon then. Then who could it be?
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same thing with the voice acting, because the original obviously didn't have voice acting, so you could make theories about who was making the phone call. But now it's set in stone. It has to be Battler.
Well, and it doesn't have to be set in stone for Battler, but it has to be set in stone that it's a man's voice. It's not a man's voice, but it's like a.
I don't know. I know in the previous episode we came up with the explanation that it could have just been Natsuki in her paranoia, imagining it was Battler, or like a random voice, and then once she met Battler, she started interpreting the phone calls as it being Battler, because the first phone call was made before she met Battler. But honestly, I think that's kind of coping. I don't like that explanation anymore.
Well, I mean, another explanation idea that I have, which I also don't love, but, like, is a explanation I believe, is that maybe if Battler was the person who was making the phone call, which I totally don't believe because I feel like there's a lot of timeline things that doesn't line up, is that you could say, like, oh, it's made by Battler, but Battler was cajoled into doing it, and he's just doing it. He's kind of just reading lines, and that, like, but, like, because of the things that are saying to Natsuki is so threatening, Natsuki interprets it as a very threatening phone call, but, like, which I could take, but I don't love.
Yeah.
But it still makes sense in the not Genshin Impact. What is happening to my brain? It still makes sense in the whole, like, the whole universes of Umineko, where a character hears a thing and they hear something else because that's how their brain interprets it. Like, it's not perfect, but it exists.
Yeah, it's kind of like a giving up explanation. Preferably, we'd rather have another explanation, but if we can come up with anything, we'll settle for that one, I
Yeah.
guess.
So basically, we're showing to everybody how weak and stupid we are.
Oh my
so,
god, Discord!
that's just how it is.
What the fuck?
I do have to say we probably should actually wrap up soon because Des has consistently
back.
dropped
Just keep going.
like 3 times in this call, and I think it's good time to wrap up now.
What? No, I haven't even gotten into any of my points.
Oh my god, Des, do you want to get into your points?
Yes, I do, obviously. So, because of the security party, basically the way, we haven't got into it yet, but since we're talking about the theories, because the way Butler wins against Erika is by proving with the golden truth that Kinzo is dead. In the golden truth is basically just everyone agreeing to something. I think, getting back to the game board and the theories, what happens at the end is that Butler is just showing everyone Kinzo's corpse, because now he has a way to show everyone Kinzo's corpse, because he has the gold, he has more knowledge than everyone. So I just wanted to throw that out there as a food for theories, because that would be a way to settle the debate that they were having in the parallel, is to actually show Kinzo being dead. But anyway, there's this thing that they say it is possible to explain all of the past 4 games with Natsuhi as a criminal, or with certain irregularities based off that theme. So this is basically Bern and Erika being like, yes, we can totally come up with explanations to incriminate Natsuhi even in the past games. And I was thinking, oh, that's an excellent episode idea. Why don't we try to come up with Natsuhi complete theories for all the episodes?
That would be fun. I totally would be down for that. That's actually a very fascinating thing. I'm excited to talk about a lot of these random things that Yukishi brings up as like, aha, like this is my cool small challenge to you and stuff.
There's a line that Erika says. She says, judging by many diverse bits of evidence and testimony, it's clear that you despised your husband, and there exists no evidence that you actually accepted his feelings as you claim. And this is a direct parallel to Erika's backstory that we find out next episode.
Yeah, I really like this scene.
It's like, oh yeah, there's a lot of evidence towards you not liking your husband, or not liking me, but there's no evidence or very little evidence of you actually liking me.
No evidence that you like. Yeah, this is the insult Erika arc. I really like this. I think like this is one of the most valuable lessons that I have learned in Umineko, which is a lot about like proof and like what it is and why is it like incredibly important to people and how it's not that important in the long run. I think this is a very fascinating thought, because I think like even when I was younger, I am a very like meticulous person, so I get very like hung up on things, and I and I have met lots of people in my life who are like, very hung up on like anniversaries, birthdays, very important holidays, or things that you have to say to them. Like people who, say good morning and good night to each other like every day, like, which is not the type of person I am. But like, I understand that, like, I was the type of person who kept people's letters for 10 years because like, how important they are to me. But like, Umineko really says that like, they're like, small, like these kind of like gestures of like things are not what you're supposed to cling on to a person. Like, their day-to-day actions speaks more truth than the paper evidence or like the things that you can catch them doing. I don't know, I find that very funny, because like the whole point is that basically they turn a blind eye to Natsuhi and her efforts, and that the fact that like, how could you say you love him because you can't say things like I love you in red. And like, that's, I feel like in a way that's a thesis statement of Umineko. Like, you can't say I love you in red, and because it's not like a statement of some sort. It's not like saying like the sky is blue or the grass are green or something. And that's nice. Like, I think like that's it makes a lot of sense why Yukishi turned around and said, yes, you sexless versions will never understand Umineko because you guys never had love before.
Yeah, I'm just gonna assume you said something really insightful, Mushroom. I'm sorry. People were calling me and I had to go address your life issues.
It's okay.
I heard the beginning and the end of your thoughts.
It's okay.
I only have 2 very small thoughts left.
Okay.
One of them is that when everyone is giving their opinions on Natsuhi's reveal, I guess, admitting that she killed someone 19 years ago, Kiria's reaction is, no, Kanon's reaction is, I don't even understand the emotions of love and hate. And then Kiria replies, you will someday. It can become a reason to live and also a reason to kill. So, like, nice hint, Kiria, that you killed someone for reasons of love and hate.
Yeah, but it also is the funniest thing. I'm like, of course, Canon, the reason why you don't understand that people have the ability to kill and hate is because somebody robbed that of you, and that this personality is not where they store that chunk of the like the emotions.
Well, wasn't Kanon supposed to be the one with the hatred for Madame and all the other servants?
Yeah.
So that Shannon could remain pure.
Shannon could remain pure, but I think I think the kill part is not on him, if it makes sense.
Yeah, no.
It's funny. It's a funny scene. It's a scene where one murderer is. It's the clown to clown communication right now.
Yeah, it's why you gotta keep your eyes peeled for the details in Umineko, because Rikishi hides these little things in the text. But yeah, then there's Erika becoming the Witch of Truth, which, yep, it's pretty much the same as Anji. Both of them are seeking the truth, and for both of them, it's a self-destruction journey. For Anji, because her sole purpose in life has become to find out the truth. So since she is pursuing truth, once she does find it, there's no reason to live. And Erika's is because it's just a self-destructive way to go about life, as exemplified by her relationship with her boyfriend. But yeah, that's it. Those are all my thoughts.
It's very good.
A very chaotic episode.
I mean, I think that's, like, genuinely speaking, most of my thoughts. I have to say, Ryukishi, EP5 is very well done. Like, I like it. I like EP5 a lot for the emotional reasons. Like the whole courtroom scene of Natsuki is so gut-wrenching to me. Like, I think, like, and, like, the voice acting just, like, really sells it. And the fact that, like, I think EP5 is done incredibly well, because EP5 feels like a doomed march. Basically, like, it's a feeling of, like, you start from the very beginning knowing that Natsuki is getting her absolute shit beat out of her, and then you see her throughout the whole EP struggling and failing and getting pitted against of the worst scenarios, and that, like, now you understand what it's like to be on her side, and then to see, like, it come full circle to the very, like, and to right here, and then that you get to see, like, and then, you know, that will lead on to the secret tea party that turns everything around. But I think that's, like, masterful good writing. And I will talk about how much I hate how they did it in EP6.
Yeah, I know.
I know. I can't shut up about how much God, I fucking hate it so much. Like, I don't know. But it's done really well. Like, Erika is, like, such a fascinating character to me, because, like, I feel like when you introduce a character this late into the story, especially, you kind of just force them into the main cast, like, people are usually, like, wouldn't really like them, because in a way that they're like, oh, you know, you're just introducing a new character to my, like, old group of toys, and, like, how well did this character do well with the toys? The best way to make your character likable in front of everybody, instead you just make them the worst person possible. They attack every single one of your favorite characters, and that's how you become the most interesting character possible. I that's it. Like, I don't have much more thoughts than that about the scene. It's done very well. Ryukishi did a good job.
My laptop crashed again.
I am sitting in utter silence. Okay, it's time, guys, for me to tell you about how you should play Genshin Impact. So, I understand that in 2 days, Genshin Impact is going to get its Fontaine update. Des, are you back now?
I am. Just close the episode before it crashes again.
I know. That's what I was saying. I was trying to sell our audience on Genshin Impact. Okay, so thank you so much for listening to this episode. It was an incredibly difficult thing to create. I hope
Yes.
Des has a counter somewhere on this. This is me to future Des editor. Put a counter somewhere of how many times we crashed the computer, because somehow my computer survived this whole time, and now the only thing that's crashing is my low blood pressure, because low sugar pressure. I need food in my system. That's what I'm trying to say. Peace out. I will say goodbye to all of you, and hopefully we'll be able to record an episode sometime within a month, at least of a Umi Neko episode.
Yeah, it's been like 3 months since the last recording. It's great. But yeah, see ya.
See ya.